And Jennifer, who I love, she's cut my hair for, I don't know, probably 15 years now, something like that. And it always impresses me because she has what I think is just a photographic memory. I mean, for one thing, I just enjoy the conversation. She's a pleasant person. It's an escape. It's almost like that thing, Jodi, we were talking about. You take a break during the middle of the day, to just not be connected to anything else that you're working on. And so to me, that's just one of the benefits of, sitting in her chair. And she's a little bit of a distance away, so I get a little drive in too. It's just nice. But it amazes me that no matter what I tell her about, and she cuts hundreds of people's hair.
Yeah,
she remembers every little thing that I've told her about. So how was the trip that you and Jodi took? It was fantastic. You went to Orlando, right? That's right. I sure did. But she's got that kind of photographic memory, and it just comes naturally to her.
Sure.
And I'm the kind of person that for some things like that, if I want to remember that, I have to write it down or put it, in a contacts list somewhere if I'm going to catch it later. Some things will stick with me, but there are just people that I've, known who can do that no matter what. Even if they're in the public eye and they associate with thousands of people every month, they somehow still remember the details of an individual, And I know that there are supposedly, in Jodi's words, tricks to, learning, to capture that information. You're supposed to do like word association when you meet somebody for the first time with a name.
Well, if you're trying to be more like that, I think Jennifer, your stylist, is naturally that way.
Yeah.
I'm sort of naturally that way.
You are naturally that way.
Well, when it's something that matters to me, when it's someone who matters to me, and it's an occasion that matters to me, or something that really, really sticks out, most things do. Most people really, really do. So I'm usually really, really good with the details and the specifics of, oh, I remember her. I haven't seen her in 20 years, but she used to teach kindergarten. Those things that I remember that stick, I will, push that back out. And that's the reason Jennifer does that. Number one, she's naturally wired that way. But number two, she cares about her clients. You're a client, but it's a relationship. You're not just something for her to add to a total sheet at the end of the day. She cares about she wants you. She knows that you're driving. Is it 12 miles, 15 miles to get your hair cut with her? Yeah. And so that's one reason it matters. You remember what matters to you.
I think I like that with the waiters and waitresses that don't write anything down.
Yes.
That one blows me away every time. It's like, oh, I couldn't do that.
Actually,
That's short-term memory, though.
Yes,
You know what I
it
mean?
is.
I can see how that would be. And I had that same trouble, too. By the time I'd walk away from the table, I would be second-guessing myself.
You would.
But I get that. It's the longer-term stuff. It's like I don't see her but every 3 weeks. And she's remembering that if I don't talk about, our daughters Taylor or Phoebe for months at a time, she'll ask, how's it going? I know that Taylor's in college right now, or she's going back to school to get her master's. All of those things, that aren't even just directly tied to me, it's
social.
I wish that I had that kind of memory,
Well, then if you don't have it naturally, you do have to work at it. You do need to, let's just say you're at a gathering and you meet somebody and you want it to stick. If you're not saying her name over and over to her, then you need to be saying it to yourself when you walk away, or have that picture in your mind of her. Her name is Jennifer. Her name is Jennifer. You have to try because your mind is totally capable of it. Just because you're not natural, your mind can do it. You're not a kid anymore. You're not as much of a sponge, but you can do it if it matters to you and you try. That's why people like Jennifer probably could do anything in an industry where it's social, where it's service focused.
Right.
She's just naturally a hairstylist.
Yeah.
But she could work in PR. She could get people together. She could coordinate weddings. She could certainly handle the service industry in other ways.
One of the tricks I had heard about that with names, besides repeating it over and over, is to, like Murphy would be radio.
Sure.
Yeah, the word association.
Radio. Oh, Murphy radio. Yeah. Or, something where the same letter starts. Murphy microphone.
Alliteration.
Yeah.
That one I've heard before. I will tell you the flip side of this that's interesting. As someone who does remember details about people, I remember those sort of details about people. There, every once in a while, there's someone that we meet or work with, and there's a block. and I can't remember the name. And it's usually someone that we've not been in person with, where it's in this tech world where it's like a Zoom or a Teams, but we've had conversation. There are certain, and I'll say, Murphy, what's his name?
Yeah.
And so, and I'll name where he is and what he does, but I can't. It's almost like if you have a block, the block is there. Yeah. Whatever your first occurrence with the situation, if you get it, you keep it. If it's blocked, you never get it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I know. That is a weird little phenomenon all unto itself, because that's happened with like new additions to the family when kids are born, but you don't see those cousins for many, many, many months at a time.
Sure.
And you have to stop. And if it's one that you have a block, it's insane how every time I've gotten to the point where if it's just the mental block, I just put it, in my phone just so that I can go back and reference it, But I do that. There are a lot of cases where I will do that because even if I repeat a name 10 minutes later, it may be gone again. It's just it's weird how things just they don't stick.
You can do that in your phone to help yourself with, it could be Jennifer. Not that you have any trouble, but the example would be Jennifer, hairdresser.
Yeah.
I've got names in my phone from when the girls were little, and it's like Piper's mom, and then her name, or her name first, and then in parentheses Piper's mom. Yeah. Things like that. You have to help yourself. You have to try to help yourself in that regard. I will say this for anyone in the service industry. You have to know what it means. Look what you're telling us. It means something to you. She means something to you because of the way she treats you. That whole thing about, it's not what you say, but it's how you treated me. So one of the reasons you will go back to her, no matter how far away she moves, is because of the way she treats you, and it matters to you. You have to know that in the service industry, it doesn't just matter about the haircut. It matters that she cares about you.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what, and you said that just a little bit ago, when you actually do care, and if you're a person of empathy anyway, and you genuinely care about others, you're going to create the emotional attachment on some level. Sure. And that's where they say the emotion is really what helps draw that memory in. Yeah. That's why, memories of a kid, as a kid, your long-term memories that really stick out were things that had a definite emotional impact on you, positive or negative,
Yes.
And so the same thing, occurs with a positive association with somebody else. And yeah, you're right. It's, it's you become loyal like that on a lot of different levels because you trust and,
you feel nice when you're there.
Authenticity counts for something, It counts for a lot, actually. But it's interesting. I wonder if and I'm sure there have been studies done to show that if you make an emotional connection to something, that your chances of remembering it will be better. I have heard that about music. I mean, they say that when you put some things to music, that's why as a kid, when you learn your ABCs, they're sung for the first time because it tends to stick, in your head that way. There's something about melody and music that helps us keep a photographic memory of certain things.
Think about Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh, yes.
Gosh. Adverbs and adjectives and nouns because of that.
Right.
Love that so much.
So maybe I should just sing somebody's story. That way I'll finally remember all of it,
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.